Kostya and Nastya had a modest wedding. There were hardly any fancy ones before. Nastya was even given a veil temporarily by a friend to give back later. But that's not the point. The point is that they loved each other so much that they couldn't breathe. Family life began. Kostya tried to be a good husband. The long-awaited son was born. They brought him up in love. Everything for their son, but they did not forget each other. The family was strong. At first they lived at her parents' apartment. But then they moved to his parents in another small town near Kursk. They had their own house. There was a place to live. But Nastya wanted her own house. They built a large, bright house with 2 floors. Parents helped both. And after 10 years, Kostya and Nastya live in their own house. Their son goes to school. Nastya likes their house. She enjoys housekeeping. Although she works, Kostya works in a construction firm, and in this respect, they were lucky to build a house. They developed a homestead plot. The yard turned into a mistress's dream. Nastya beautified the territory, and Kostya helped, all around flowers, ornamental shrubs. Kostya's parents treat their daughter-in-law well. They are happy that their son's wife is so economical and tasteful. And suddenly, Nastya, on the 38th year, realized that they will again have a baby. She hurried to tell Kostya this news. He rejoiced, and 9 months later met her with a daughter from the hospital. The son was already 15, and the daughter was just born, a big difference between the children. But nothing, Nastya is not difficult, quickly remembered everything, and devoted herself to her daughter. At this age, a woman has a different attitude to motherhood, with understanding, with special warmth and care for the baby. In youth, it passes quickly, before you know it. The child in kindergarten, in school, no time to enjoy motherhood. 5 years passed, the daughter grew up, goes to kindergarten. The son is studying at a construction college, apparently decided to become a builder, like his father. One evening after work, Kostya told Nastya, "I am sent on a business trip to the Moscow region. There our company has decided to build an object under the contract, and the management sends me as a more experienced specialist. I'm not a boy anymore. I'm 44, as they say. I've reached my 5th decade, so I'll have to go." Nastya got worried. "Kostik, how long are they sending you away for?" "Until 2 months, and then probably we'll send a replacement." "Don't worry, I'll come sometimes on weekends and send you money." Kostya left. Time passed. He came several times on weekends. But then he called and said that he couldn't get away. There was a lot of work. He had to keep up and meet the deadlines. He extended his business trip and then another, and for more than half a year Kostya lived there. But he called regularly, saying he missed her and sent money. Nastya was tired of being alone. She had a house, 2 children, and recently she met a colleague of her husband and started complaining, "Ivan, that you have no one else in the firm to send on a business trip. My Kostya sits there without a break for a year." Ivan looked at her strangely. "Why, no one, just Kostya himself does not want to come here, says that he likes it there, and asks to extend automatically his business trip." Nastya was surprised. "How so?" "He says he misses me. But there is no substitute for him, that's why he stayed there." I don't know. Ivan laughed and headed for his car. 6 months ago, Kostya met a woman in her 40s. Marina works as a receptionist at the hotel where Kostya lives. The hotel is paid for by the company. He is a construction engineer after all, and he is in charge of one of the sites. Marina is a pleasant, pretty woman, divorced. Kostya invited her to a cafe, and then it started to spin. Marina lives with her parents. After the divorce, her husband left her with nothing. She has no place of her own. They met with Kostya in his room. She even lived there for a few days. He forgot about his love for his wife. He caught up with a new love, and Marina did everything to keep Kostya with her, set a goal, to marry him. She is smart, stylish, purposeful, and a strong nature. Men like such women, and Kostya left his provincial town, saw a beautiful woman, and melted in her arms. My wife called, "Kostya, and what I found out, it turns out that you yourself asked to extend your business trip, and you tell me something completely different. Did you find another woman there? I can't interpret it anymore." "Who told you that?" Kostya was indignant. "Ivan, your friend and colleague. I met him recently and asked him about you." Why are you asking someone else about me? You don't trust me, so live as you wish, Kostya answered angrily and took offense. Nastya did not recognize her husband. Always kind, docile, did not allow himself to shout at his wife and hear such a thing. She realized that her husband was offended and would not answer again. She called him 3 days later. He didn't answer. After a week, he sent money. Another 3 months passed. Kostya talked on the phone reluctantly. He never called Nastya. The last time he said that in 2 weeks he would return from a business trip with a surprise. Nastya kept thinking, wondering what kind of surprise her husband would give her. 2 weeks later in the evening, Nastya saw her husband's car in the window and jumped out into the yard, opened the gate. Kostya drove in. Nastya saw that he was not alone in the car. A woman was sitting next to him. They got out of the car. Nastya stood bewildered, shifting her gaze from one to the other. "Hi, wife. Here you are. Meet Marina, my favorite woman. We will live here. And you pack your things, take your daughter and leave." Nastya's eyes darkened. She almost fell. What a surprise. "Kostya, are you abandoning your family and bringing this woman here?" "Yes. We'll divorce you. I'll marry her. This is my final decision." Nastya's whole family life has gone down the drain. Everything's gone wrong. She's got nowhere to go. They built the house together. She went into the house, tears flowing in hail, took her daughter and went to her husband's parents. She decided to spend the night there. Kostya's parents were also shocked. They could not believe that so quickly their son forgot his family. The morning Nastya took her daughter to the kindergarten, went home to pack her things. Her husband was not with Marina. He left for work and took her with him. She wants to work together with Kostya. The things turned out to be a lot. Nastya decided to go to her mother. Her father was no longer alive. She called the trucking company and ordered a gazelle. The next day, she and her daughter went to her mother in another city, and the son stayed here with his father. He already works in a construction company, where his father, and does not want to lose his place. Nastya understood him and was not offended by his son. He is already an adult. Nastya lives in an apartment with her mother. It is good that the apartment is 3-room, her mother is ill, almost nowhere goes out. Her daughter is in the 2nd grade, and Nastya fights with her ex-husband. She filed for the division of the house and property. It was her school friend. Her husband is a lawyer. They help her. Kostya calls her and threatens that she will not get anything. It lasts for the 2nd year. He even blackmails her, shames her that this house is his son's. In the end, he paid Nastya a good amount of money, half the cost of the house. He had to take a huge loan, and the son got married and left his father. Marina does not like that he took a big loan. Thought that the house, just so they will get, at least so promised Kostya. But now you have to pay, and she wants to go to Turkey in the summer. Gradually, Nastya came to her senses, settled down, and decided to open a beauty salon. She used to finish hairdressing courses, and now she is finishing makeup courses. Despite the fact that she is 48 years old, she radically changed her life, her style, opened a beauty salon. She has an apartment, her daughter is studying, and Nastya plunged into the beauty industry. It turns out that this is her dream. It was just somewhere deep in her, and her husband Trader pushed to fulfill her dream. Nastya was somewhere even grateful to him for this transformation. She took such an interest in the business. She treated with great respect for each client. She liked it when they left the salon, beautiful women, with their heads held high and happy.